Have you thought about how much cash flow you want when you retire? You often hear about people needing to cut back in their lifestyle when they retire. Now, why is that? Isn't the entire idea behind the retirement phase of life where you finally get to kick back and do what you want to do on your own terms? The simple reason for the need to tighten their belts at this stage is just bad planning. Too many of us just assume that we'll be turning off the income spigot when we are no longer working full-time, and we thus need to adjust our expectations to fit the fixed income, and usually a lower income. This is a failure of mindset. Too often, when we think of weaving in a safety net for ourselves in retirement, we end up bemoaning the decline of pensions or guaranteed benefits from employers. For most of us, we are very much on our own when it comes to planning, saving, and creating the safety net that we can rely on in our older years. This can be a stressful thought, or it can be liberating. How many of us today would be content to hang out around one place doing the same thing for years in and years out, just to assure ourselves of a payout decades later? For most of us, there are far more exciting opportunities that abound from just charting our own path and taking responsibility for when we finish. On that note, there is virtually a surefire method to retiring in the lifestyle you need. For most people, this is the simplest and easiest method possible. It involves real estate. The concept is to, as quickly as you can, over as short a period as you can, buy a number of residential properties. Your goal should be to amass a collection of properties with a net rent equal to your desired income, whatever that might be. Of course, these properties will initially have a mortgage on them, but let's say that in your desired monthly income, outside salary, Social Security, and other revenue sources, is $5,000 per month, for example. You could collect or amass 6 or 7 properties that rent for around $800 a month. After some initial maintenance and upkeep, you'll have created a guaranteed means of insuring yourself of your desired monthly income. You don't have to start with all 6 or 7 today. Out of necessity or even caution, you may wish to start leveraging yourselves using real estate over time, especially given the fallout in the recent real estate crisis of 2008. Try getting started with 1 or 2, but start today. The best time for you to begin to strike down on this road is most likely yesterday. The goal shouldn't be to buy expensive properties that are in areas that are already so desirable that their market has essentially peaked. You'd be well advised to focus on buying in a university town with a town population of no less than 500,000 residents. Places fitting this profile tend to have growing workforces and continually expanding job markets as well. Not to mention a steady, stable college students that need somewhere to rent. You don't necessarily need to buy a property that is geographically near you if you can secure a good property manager that you can trust. That said, an axiom of investing holds that you often do the best by investing in markets and products that you have a deep understanding of. On that same token, you may be furthest ahead of the game by investing in properties in the area that you know most completely. You will then be really further ahead of the game and it'll take less time up front to learning about the area that you're investing in. The property manager component is a key component. One of the prime virtues of being involved in real estate is that you can benefit from gains of mostly passive income after you've put in more of the money upfront work or the time involved of acquiring the property, and of course acquiring the tenant. Delegating much of the day-to-day work to a good property manager will also allow you to really cede much of the responsibility for overseeing the daily logistics. In short, the aspects of real estate ownership are the most similar to working a conventional job. Continue to grow your empire as well. Don't stop. Over time, as you accumulate more, you can use the increasing rent and value over time to pay off the mortgages and then buy more. You should be aware of the properties that have a negative cash flow though. Stay away from those as much as possible. You want to avoid negative cash flow in case of a downturn. Also, be careful of refurbishing costs as well. Do some fixing and maintenance to drive up the value of your home that you're buying, absolutely. But be sure you account for this as you make your initial purchase as well. The key, always strive for a small positive cash flow. And don't spend too much time worrying about the daily fluctuations in the market either. A concept you are wise to follow when it comes to tracking your investments in general, actually. You are buying for the long term cash flow, and you can afford to ride out small market corrections and downturns as long as you keep your focus on the horizon and keep your cash flow needs in check. You can start at any age, but the younger the better. Your future self will be grateful that you decided to take the plunge and make such a critical investment in your financial well-being. You will need to spend some time educating yourself on the market and the finances. You want to understand how real estate works as a discipline. Make it a weekend habit of yours to visit the open houses in your area to get a feel for the types of properties that are out there. Instill a sense of the appropriate listing and asking prices by checking out the notices in your local paper or online. You should also head out into the field and do more research on your own. Take drives and walks in the areas that you're interested in learning more about, including taking the time to talk to neighbors about what they like and dislike about living in the particular area. Keep your antenna out for the folks cleaning up their lawns and garages or adding new coats of paint. They may be interested or be prepared to sell their place in the near future. And maybe you can just find yourself a great deal at the right time. Attend some networking and educational events to get a chance to learn about the business from the real estate agents and recent buyers. You can talk with them to get a sense of where they think the strongest growth opportunities are and picking up properties that can assure you that you can meet the monthly income floor that you are seeking for yourself. So tell me, what strategies will you use to build up your real estate holdings and portfolio? Can you identify a geographic area that's right for you to take advantage of? What more do you need to know before you can begin securing your own financial future and scooping up more properties than you own today? Now stay in touch with me and let me know by following me on Facebook, and subscribe to my YouTube channel and register at my website tonynewmeyer.com to receive ongoing free trainings, inspirations, and more. And remember, always live rich.